All right. So again, you're not gonna tell me. I don't know what the Chinese or whoever are so scared of me for. They're jealous. What they say this happened back in April. Then that's they know I've been fixing this whole year, fixing my credit. So they just dump everybody's credit. I guess as I don't know. So that's what I'm telling y'all. These are these people, whoever they are, the Chinese. And if you watch these videos about China right now, it's horrible over there, and they're doing it to their people on purpose. So it is and how horrible the buildings are falling apart. They're doing it all this on purpose. They don't care. Like they said, it's communism. They So why should they care? It belongs to everybody. So it's just dirty, fucked up over there.
Information records, including names, social security numbers, and addresses, reportedly exposed in what could be the largest data breach in history. The information stolen from...
And I seen another report says it's not just your addresses, it's even the questions you answered, you didn't set up before with another company. The questions they ask when you're trying to retrieve your password, and not just for your email, alone. So people, and then like we all know, if you got good credit and somebody use it, it's really nothing you can do too much unless you catch it at the beginning. That's what everybody's so upset.
National Public Data, a company that collects and sells access to personal information, which is then used by other organizations to obtain things like background checks and criminal records.
We didn't give permission for them to collect that data. We can go opt out if we know the company exists, but there's hundreds of data collection companies out there.
According to a law...
And the real problem, like I keep saying, everybody keep acting like it's normal. And what I mean by that is like they blame, yeah, they're the ones who, Democrats, liberals, don't blame the victim. But when it comes to stuff like that, because they want it to go on, they're jealous, nasty. So they blame the person. You didn't do enough to protect yourself. Yeah, that's why the data be, it's like, but this other report, it tells the truth. I mean, it gives more in depth on this one.
Almost every American's social security number may have been leaked in a massive data breach, according to a new report. That data was stolen from National Public Data and reportedly dumped on a dark web forum by a hacking group called USDOD. The report says the group was able to steal the personal records of nearly 3 billion people. It happened in April, according to a class action lawsuit filed in a Florida federal court. So I would like to welcome in Intrust cybersecurity consultant Dave Hatter to kind of break this down for us. Dave, first of all, that's so many people. Did this really happen? If so, how did it happen? Is anything safe at this point?
First off, Nicole, thanks for having me on again. And no, nothing is safe at this point. It apparently has happened. There have been numerous people that have confirmed that this data is out there. The hackers have asked for a substantial amount of money for the data. And that's the point I'm always trying to make to people when they say, why does this happen? There's an enormous amount of money to be made when you can steal data like this. And this particular data came from a company called National Public Data. They do background checks. So, think about it for a second, Nicole. If you've ever gone through a background check process, they're collecting extremely sensitive data about you. Apparently in this data, it's not just your social security number, which is bad enough. It's things like previous home addresses, all those questions you might be asked from a bank if you lose your password or you sign up for a loan or something like that. So it's pretty unfortunate what's out there, and it's not good at all.
And so, Dave, how do people know if they are part of this? Let me double check your 3 billion number. And if it turns out that you are, which most of us probably will be, what can you do to try to make things right?
Yeah, that's the right question to ask. First off, they have not announced this has happened yet. I know people have reached out to them. Normally, in a scenario like this, the company is going to announce the breach, and then usually they'll offer some kind of credit monitoring, which really is kind of like small consolation to the people who had their data stolen, because that's the problem with all of this, Nicole. And we're at a place today where your data is very valuable intrinsically, and because they can use it to impersonate you, they can use it to sign up for things in your name, identity theft and fraud. And unfortunately, when these kind of breaches happen, as consumers, we're the ones that suffer. So once this becomes fully blown out and everyone is aware of it and they announce it, then the next step is usually you get some credit monitoring. Now, I always encourage people, and probably every one of your viewing audience has gotten at least one of these letters from somebody. I encourage people, sign up for the credit monitoring. While it's not perfect, it will help you look for unauthorized activity on your accounts and try to get in front of that, because identity theft can be extremely difficult to unwind if you become a victim of that. Freeze your credit, watch your accounts. Those are some of the most basic things you can do if you get the notification. And it sounds like we're probably all going to get it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the fact that, at the top of this, you said, no, Nicole, nothing is safe anymore. So yeah. Why isn't this information better protected? This is so frustrating because, right, probably almost all of us have received at least one letter saying, hey, your data's been breached.
Well, I think there's basically two reasons. A, there's little incentive for businesses to protect it because you don't have any sort of federal data privacy law. There's about 20 states that have passed some kind of comprehensive data privacy law that actually puts some teeth into protecting your data as a consumer and consequences for companies that have these kind of breaches happen. But there's no national law.
That's what I keep saying, dude. It's so and people just get to go. Oh, it's like living in New York or Chicago or Philadelphia. I just seen another shooting. Like I think they're saying it's been one every day this month, or multiple in one day, or multiple people shot. And they start blaming. Well, you get it's like a badge of honor. You just got to keep your head on your shoulder if you're a New Yorker. Keep your head on the swivel. Yeah, keep your head on the swivel. They accept it. It's like, no, we shouldn't have to do all this extra shit. Somebody, we all need to make these people federal, more government is not the answer, but sometimes something like this, yeah, it does need to be on a federal level. And, well, you just gotta, now you gotta every day, check your credit twice a day or something, so you catch something as soon as they do it. But you shouldn't have to. And the company should be scared to do stuff like they're not scared to do it.
Laws vary widely. And then secondarily,
just like the regular criminals who do violent crimes, they're not scared to do it.
I think a lot of companies just don't realize the risk. They don't want to spend money to put in the kind of basic protections, because I want to be honest. There's nothing you can do that will completely prevent this. I mean, we've seen cases like North Korean and Chinese hackers are basically implanted in businesses because they pretend to be someone else and get hired. It's an insider threat type thing. But there's a lot of low-hanging fruit as a business. Encrypt the data, use multi-factor authentication. The thing you hear nerds like me say all the time, the businesses aren't doing because it costs money and it creates friction. And again, there's no real incentive for them to do these things because we're the ones that suffer. And I think until the role is reversed, whether it's they can't get insurance or there's big fines or they go out of business because of this sort of thing, unfortunately, we're going to continue to be victims.
And see, that's what the whole thing been. I'm telling you, it was a slippery slope. All of the BLM, all that. The don't blame the victim. You like what? It was getting everybody's mind. Don't be rude, and employees being rude. Even a McDonald's employee. It was. I'm telling you, it's all connected. So, like he said, until these companies, more worried about somebody losing their job, no matter how bad their job performance is. They can't lose their job, no matter how bad they're doing or treat customers. Then you're not supposed to report them to the manager or something because they got kids to feed. Well, then you should think about that. One, if you don't like this job, get a better job. So yeah, the company needs to go out of business. They need to fold and lose their houses and maybe even get divorced, whatever, because they fucked up. You fucked up big time with other people's lives. Your life deserved. it's not a punishment like losing your wife. I'm just saying, it's a good chance y'all gonna break up because most marriages fall apart because of money. I'm just saying this is just a logical. Once you lose your position, you lose your company, and where else you gonna get another job at? You can't get a job in that field again because you fucked up so bad, your company got shut down, and you was the CEO. So where you gonna work after that? It's not canceling. It's just like any bit. That's the way it's always been before this country. Is if you trying to sell stuff and you fuck up, your business got nobody's gonna come to you. It just shuts down. And do it. But then with our country, you got extra. You get sued into oblivion or with something like that. Yeah, if you're a bad car company, it's not canceling. So you like Toyota. They didn't get canceled, but remember when the brakes were going out of control, the fly by wire, brake by wire, or the cars, not the brakes, they wouldn't stop. They were accelerating. But so that's not canceling. This, it's like you got to think. Everything's not the same thing.
You're absolutely right. It ultimately will probably be the money that will get something done here. Cybersecurity expert Dave Hatter, thank you.
And see, all these new age news reporters, they make everything, I'm just saying, the tone of her voice like it's fun or something. Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be the money. It's like, this is serious. Fucking with people's lives, people's credit. Like they just mad. They trying to punish us because we won't let them have their way. So they want to, do what they can to stop everybody, to punish everybody. Like okay, so you better, vote for Democrats. It don't matter. You might, we're gonna destroy everything, but if you don't do it, we're gonna hack y'all to death, and or this and that, or by the time they make laws, it's gonna take so long, whatever.